What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is not the Philly Tall podcast. This is Battle Birds podcast, the third episode when it comes to pregame. We couldn't do a post game last time, and I don't know where these guys stand for the post game because it's going to be late. But hopefully, we are talking about an Eagles big dub, first place in the NFC East. It's Cowboys Eagles in Dallas. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yo, that man, you know who it is, you know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General, Prime Star, Joyce, man. I hope you get better, man. Seriously, I just in that situation. I know what it's like, man. Just keep your head up, man. Keep your head up.
Facts. What's good, everybody? Steve, Gay City Sports Channel. You already know the spiel, guys. 10 minutes of cerebral content. Hey, Stephen Joyce, my guy. Just like Reese was saying, get better, my guy, because that's tough, man. We're here for you, bro. We're here for you, man.
Definitely, yeah. Shout out to you.
Facts. So let's get into it. This has been a crazy week. It's Dallas week, and it comes early. I think because of the newness of this team and not really seeing exactly where we're gonna go. Dallas is still somewhat of a question mark to us. Is their offense going to continue to be that good? Is their defense anything great if they're not getting turnovers? But it's an early game, and I don't like to ever say must win this early in the season because it's a long season. They just added another game. But when you look at the tea leaves after this, we got Chiefs, Bucks, and an undefeated Panthers. And then you got the Cowboys who got the Panthers, but they're going to have their first game after losing CMC and JC Horn. They'll be able to adjust by us. Then they got the Giants, and they got a string of easy opponents. How crucial is this game to you guys? Let me know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's too early to say must win, but when you look at, like you were just saying, our schedule, then you look at Dallas' schedule, it's much easier in the next 4 to 5 games. So you wanna get a leg up on these guys as much as you can right now. And I believe we can do it. You know, I got the Eagles winning. We'll talk about the predictions later, but I do have the Eagles winning. I think Nick Sirianni feel as though he has something to prove. Went on WIP and took the loss on his shoulders as a head coach should, because it really was on him, the loss last week. I thought he thought that the defense was going to be something different, so he tried to, instead of just going with work and then if it don't work, then you change it. What he did was he just changed the whole philosophy of getting your guys short passes and letting them, make plays on their own. These are things that we talked about in the pregame the last two times he was on here. And I thought that he got away from that. I know he probably heard some chitter chatter about, because we know we done heard it. Oh, well, Jalen Hurts doesn't throw deep. And I think he wanted to force the issue about that. You don't have to do that if you winning. You don't got to do that if you winning. We had a chance to beat the 49ers. It wasn't like the game was out of hand, like really ever. But we do have to understand that in this game, we do got to be better. I think the defense definitely was solid. You only hold them guys at 17 points. They just put up 24 or was it 30? I think they just put up 30 on Green Bay. So and that came down to a field goal. So the 49ers are not a joke. So we gotta understand that we are a better team than what we seen last week. We have better talent than what we seen last week. It just wasn't utilized. And I think Nick Sirianni is going to come out with a plan. You got a guy in Diggs who I think cannot stick Devonta Smith. Them dudes, they went to battle for years over there in Alabama, whatever the case may be. And I would bet my money that Devonta Smith got over on him more than Diggs did. And we're going to see. We're going to see. I know Diggs got like 3 picks or something like that. So he definitely been turning the ball over. And that's something that we need to do. We'll get into that. I'll let Steve go. My fault. Go ahead.
But real quick before Steve gets in here, shout out to Richard Kane with the $2 super chat. And I know my guy's gonna probably talk about this in his opening statement. He said,
I was just
concerned
going to say,
about
go
the
ahead and read it because I'm
offensive
about to get
line.
it.
Andre is a total liability. Go ahead and give us, your general thoughts on the game and also that crucial area.
What's up? First off, Richard, we appreciate your super chat, buddy. So look, let's be honest, man. The last time Jordan Mailata, I wish Jordan Mailata was out there for this game. Last time Andre Dillard lined up at left tackle for the Eagles versus the Cowboys, it was not a good result. He was getting beat off the edge quite a bit. So, I mean, Andre Dillard's got a lot to prove. This is a former first-round pick. He's not a rookie anymore, but he doesn't have the experience of a veteran guy at the same time anymore. Look, he's got two thinner pass rushers that are speed guys that shouldn't overpower him, but yet we've watched several of these dudes that are faster pass rushers go speed to power and bull rush him and get through. So I have a hard time saying like it shouldn't happen because it shouldn't happen, but it has happened in the past. So he's got a lot to prove here, guys, because I don't think we have too much business trying to push the ball vertically unless it's there. I don't think we need to be forcing things. I do think that I'm not saying the entire game last week resembled things we saw from Doug, but I do think that there was a stretch of plays, like a 7 to 10 window amount of plays where it really felt like Doug's offense again, where it just felt like we were really trying to force that stuff. And I don't think we can do that. I think we have an offense that we're lining up against that, number one, is going to try to run the football at us. But number two, it's built around the quick passing game. Dak Prescott is the second fastest time to throw quarterback in the league. He's only behind Ben Roethlisberger. It's like 2.4 seconds, guys. I mean, that's fast. I mean, we're going to have to rally to the football tackle, and we're going to have to win in the trenches. Simply put, we're down Brandon Graham on one side of the ball. We're down Jordan Mailata and Brandon Brooks on the other side of the ball. The trenches are going to be really important tonight because you know what? And we can't have excuses. Dallas is down like 35 defensive tackles.
Yeah.
To be straightforward, they are. They're down their right tackle, right? They just got back their right guard. So, I mean, no excuses tonight, guys. We got to win the trenches, simply put.
Facts. I think winning the trenches gives us exactly what we need to get this done. I do want to say this about Andre Dillard. The dude's playing for his job. Like, Jordan Mailata signing that deal knows he's the future left tackle of the Eagles. The only chance he has is, and this ain't good for the Eagles, but it's good for Andre Dillard if he comes out and makes a little statement, because if he got to get his trade value up so he can be an asset for another team, because we just signed our guy for the long term. Now, it's always good to have depth on the offensive line. Don't get me wrong, but eventually his contract's going to be up. Someone will pay him something, not more than backup money. So for the Eagles to get our best bang for buck, he got to go out there and show out today. Real quick, shout out to Donnell with the $5 super chat. He said, "What up, fellas? Let's go, Birds. We'll be okay tonight." And that's the attitude that we got to have coming out the tunnel. You know what I mean? Dallas got their home opener. I think because it's their home opener, they'll be a little bit more pretty than normal, because I'm not going to lie, the way they beat the Chargers, even though there were some questionable things in that game, I don't want to see we talked about this multiple times. I don't want to see a balanced Cowboys. If they're balanced, it's just going to make every throw that Dak has to make a little bit easier. You know what I mean? It's going to tire the defense out if they're running the ball the way they did with the 1-2 punch. I didn't want to see that. Mike McCarthy is a guy who to me can get pass happy, and I'm going to need that in this game. That's not me saying Dak ain't capable of beating us, but I think we fare better if we're making them throw the ball more. I need our front four to get at Dak, but as Gates said, he gets the ball out fast. That is going to diminish our pass rush, so it's up to the second and third level, the secondary and the linebackers, to be where they need to be to make Dak hold the ball a little bit longer, and then, hey, let bygones be bygones. We got to get at them, simple and plain.
Let me ask you guys a question, both you guys. So I think all three of us are in agreement that the front four, our defensive line, I trust them. If they can win the matchups, they can disrupt any running game in the league. But how confident are you guys in the back seven if they get past the D-line? If they get the edges on us, how confident are you guys in that back seven to shut down the running game?
I'll go real quick. I mean, tackling has been a little suspect for us. You seen uh, both the Falcons and the Niners really extend plays after making one guy miss. Tony Pollard has shown that a lightning to Zeke's thunder. Um, that is the thing that scares me. You know, outside the numbers running, getting past the first getting past the defensive line and having to go against Alex Singleton and Eric Wilson, and then guys like Marcus Epps, even Darius Slay, who I still believe in his cover skills, but he's been taking some business decisions when it comes to tackling. You know what I mean? He made a little joke about getting ran over against the Falcons. I forgot who did it. But yeah, that does concern me, and you don't want them to get in that groove. Right now, Dallas, has 31 minutes for time possession on average. It's beating us. I was looking at the third down stats. I mean, on third down, they're really good. They're 55% conversion rate. We got to get them off the field on third down. I think that's where it comes. And if we're giving them third and shorts and they have the outside and the inside, I mean, it's not going to be fun. That's why I want to keep them in them passing distance, some third and longs. You got to get them off the field. It does bode well that the Eagles get team. They only let opposing offenses convert 32%. So I think that's where the matchup starts. There's things inside. I want our offense to be able to get things going against that 26th ranked defense. But it starts really our defense controlling their offense.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that you said. I'm gonna hit on a couple things real fast. First, I'm gonna hit on the Dillard situation. I'm not kind of glad. I'm glad that Zach Ertz got out of that COVID protocol because we're going to need him to chip. You're gonna have to chip on Dillard's side, man. It's no secret. You know what I mean? DeMarcus Lawrence isn't there. That helps a lot because Jalen Hurts will be running for his life probably, and he still might be. But you're definitely gonna have to chip. Damn, Gates, what was the question that you asked again? My bad.
About how confident are you if they start getting to our second level, to those linebackers in those,
Okay.
in the secondary with the running game?
I thought the linebackers did a way better job last week than they did the first week. And that might be because Taylor got some playing time. I seen Avery play better. Eric Wilson, he played better because he was trash to me in the first game. He played better. And it probably was just some cohesiveness that they had to get together. Taylor was there. Bradley was there. They're going to have to step up. This is another game that, especially on the edges, you might want to play Taylor when you see Pollard come in. That's what I would do. I would play chess with that situation. I probably would pull Avery and play Taylor if I see Pollard coming. He's faster than Zeke. He can hit the edges better than Zeke. I'm not worried about Zeke hitting the edges. I'm sorry, I'm really not. I'm actually more concerned, not scared, but more concerned with Pollard than I am with Zeke. And
so, one question, Reese, because you said something that struck my interest here, where you were talking about playing around with that Sam linebacker role. Would you maybe consider doing something like taking giving TJ Edwards an extended play time here, because he's not going to man up on anybody, but I think he does a good job of falling into his zones. He's way better than he's been given credit for in pass coverage in the zone. You'd never man him up on anybody, but outside of that, he's a really good run filler. He's one of the few guys we got, and I also think that Sean Bradley can play that very limited role as well at times. But my real question is instead of going in the base package, Reese, and going under with an under front, so doing that 43 under front where you got Avery at the top, do you think that we could get away with risking playing big nickel? Now, the reason I say risking it is because we're light at safety. Might you do something like Epps, having Epps and those guys over the top? So you got Epps and Harris over the top, and then bring Kavon Wallace, who has experience playing as a strong, down into the box.
Yeah, you can do that. I think Kavon Wallace has the speed, and I do think that he's getting better. But we can't forget that we do have Alex Singleton. You know what I mean? I think he's one of the better linebackers that we have. And he's a gap filler too. Like he does attack the gaps, you know what I mean? But I ain't got a problem with that. You definitely got to mix it up. You can't have a base defense every single time. You know what I mean? Even if it's working, you have to switch things up because after a while, it's going to get to the point where if they keep running the ball, and it's a close game, that base defense is going to break. So they're going to break one of them. So yeah, I would definitely switch things up.
See, I love the way you said that too, Reese, because there's more. It's not just going big nickel. Like you
Right.
could potentially switch things up by taking a guy like an Alex Singleton and playing him as the Sam, giving him the Jannard Avery role. And then
Right.
you could bring in a TJ Edwards and you can bring
Yeah.
in Wilson. And then you got Wilson as your cover guy if you need to man up, if that has to happen out of your linebackers. You got Edwards Edwards and Singleton together. I mean, Singleton's got to finish the play, but he gets to where the ball is. That's for sure.
He
And
definitely
definitely's got
does.
the sideline to sideline range. But yeah, I agree with you, Reese. We've got to give them different looks. Like it's only a matter of time before teams start figuring out, like, they're in base. This is what they do in base.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. How have you liked the way that Jonathan Gannon has been mixing up the linebackers? I mean, he's been playing in the first 2 games. I mean, both games, I think 6 linebackers touched the field. Now, of course, some in smaller
He's
packages.
played everybody and their little brother.
Exactly. From the guys who were rookies last year to the rookies this year. That is where I think, as he said, you got to play some chess, not checkers, and you see what's working, you see where their packages are killing us, come in and throw different looks, because you've seen from Patrick Johnson to Sean Bradley to Davion Taylor when he got back healthy to TJ Edwards, you see a mixture of linebackers, and I've never seen 6 linebackers get playing time. Now I know it's still small portions, but I mean we had the same 3 linebackers playing last year every single snap. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. Let's see how it folds.
That's a good point, Mike. Is that in the role I said about Alex Singleton, Patrick Johnson is another guy if you trust it. But I mean gives you what Jannard Avery gives you, which is more of a natural pass rush ability. Those guys are not natural linebackers. They're not stand-up stack linebackers. Those are rush defensive ends or rush linebackers, basically. I mean, I agree with you, Mike. I mean, it's hard to argue with the kind of production Gannon has had, but I do fear that right now we might be getting away with a little bit of teams are just not familiar with what we are. And once there's more and more tape on us, it's going to slowly but surely start breaking a little bit, is my fear. So, I mean, I would love to see them mix in a little bit more blitzing. And I don't mean necessarily blitzing just to get to the quarterback. You can design run blitzes as well to get tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Like, I definitely felt like there were times in the San Francisco game we should have been a little more aggressive than what we were.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I want to hit on some things that y'all was saying earlier because they was in my do's and don'ts. Dak's definitely going to get the ball out of his hands. Shout out to you, Steve. I seen you on LB page breaking down, like, he doesn't throw over 10 yards, like, at all, basically. You know what I mean? Like, so, but it's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see what the offense did, and I can say the same thing for Jalen Hurts. You don't gotta throw bombs away. I had no problem them coming out. I would have liked to see Quez Watkins more in the Atlanta game. I had no problem with them coming out, scream, get the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands, get him in a rhythm. Get the guy. He's still a young guy, man. Like, this is really his rookie year. People say it's not, but it is. Get him into a rhythm. You know what I mean? And when you spread out the defense when you do them screens, because now they're looking for him. Now you can run the ball. Now you can run your tight ends up the seam. It's things like what he did in Atlanta that got us that lead. And I think that he didn't do that. Now back to Dak real fast. He's definitely going to get the ball out of his hands. What you have to do is make him look at his second and third read. It's not even a debate on how important that is. That might be the most important thing in this game, because if he gets, you got to give the cornerbacks, the safeties, and the linebackers have to give this defensive line time to get to that, because all they're going to do is get tired. If he keeps just getting the ball out of his hands, it don't matter how good your defensive line is if the first read is there every single time. Oh, boom, 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 and it's gone. And there's nothing that they can do. Ain't nobody flash out there. Nobody's that fast. And I think Jonathan Gannon definitely has to understand that. Them losing Michael Gallup, to me, that's really the only guy they could take off the top. I did see that they had some other guy look like he was fast. I think he's a rookie or something. But Gallup was the guy that took off the top.
Cedric Wilson has been he's been the one filling in. Cedric Wilson, he's not that bad.
Right. Is his number like 7 or something? What's like, I don't know. But
these new numbers.
No, big seven.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper is banged up from what we hear. I think we already know that Darius Slay really puts the cuffs on him, locked him up, won't let him out. You know what I mean? Akon and Styles. But we gotta see what Nelson's going to do against CeeDee Lamb. Or are you going to switch them to? Just for the fact that Amari Cooper is hurt. And CeeDee Lamb is becoming their number one for real, when you really look at it. I like Amari Cooper, you know what I mean? But we do have to understand that CeeDee Lamb ain't no joke. It's a reason that we wanted to go get him. And we was salty that he's not a Philadelphia Eagle. Let's keep it tall like City Hall. But at the same time, we do have to understand that Cooper might get CeeDee Lamb might get the most targets. But third downs and the more important drives is going to be Amari Cooper. So you have to understand, and I'm not saying that you don't. I would switch it up. I would give Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb different looks. I would give them Nelson one time, a Slay one. I would mix it up because you never know when that one play is going to happen. And it's been 2 games. We done played what, 60 minutes? 60 minutes? Yeah. No, 120 minutes of football. Yeah, 120 minutes of football, and we have no turnovers. The only team in the league that have no turnovers. That's a problem. And it's not like this defense is bad. It's just we miss opportunities. You cannot miss these. If you have an opportunity, if you're the defense, this is the only slight I have with the defense. I think the defense has been playing good. But if you get a chance to make a play, you have to make that play. You gotta get turnovers, especially on that. Because it seems like when you get turnovers, he plays like a different type of game. You got to get into his head, pause. But you definitely have to understand that the guy that you're playing will turn the ball over. Like that will turn the ball over. He will try to fit a bowling ball in a keyhole. You know what I mean? So when he does these kind of things, you have to take advantage. Don't slap the ball down. Don't fumble. Don't bobble the ball. Make these plays, man, and then we should come out victorious.
Yeah, shout out to Proud Infidel with the $5 super chat. He said O-line has to be better with the run game. Great show, guys. Yeah. Look, I think in situations last week against the Niners, we pass protect pretty well. There were some times where the offensive line did get banged up, but the way Jalen was able to move, it kind of hid some of the bad offense, not the bad offense, but when we were struggling a little bit, and credit that front four. But when you look at what the offensive line did in the run game, especially on that 3rd and short, as much as we say we want a bruiser back, and I ain't opposed to calling Jordan Howard up. We were all shocked when he didn't make the team after hearing reports he's doing good at camp. You see Boston Scott not even getting a snap, so you definitely could use it. But that interior push, I saw Miles, I saw Gainwell, I saw a lot of running backs get contacted by a defensive lineman 2-3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And so that's going to be a tall task for any running back. Now, again, the Cowboys offensive D-line is nowhere near the Niners D-line, regardless. But that has been really our killer. I mean, yeah, he got cute with the Philly not so special. And I know people keep telling me it's not the Philly special. It looked enough like it. I don't care. But that was one thing, but the main thing was the 3rd and shorts. We could not convert on them, and we left a lot on the table from not being able to convert. And so, you got a guy like Jalen Hurts. You got an offensive line who, again, was getting beat up with the initial push, so maybe that wouldn't work anyways. But when you see Jimmy G sneaking, you got to consider that for the simple fact, just the physical power that Jalen Hurts has. It's, definitely top 5 strongest quarterbacks, and that all goes, especially if he's smart enough to find a crease. It's not necessarily you got to get the initial push. The initial push is one thing. Let Jalen Hurts find it when it's a yard. We just got to convert on 3rd and short. What is your take?
Can I ask you a question real fast?
Mm-hmm.
So, because you made me think of this, and I did make a video about this. So when we talk about the I call it the stupid, the fake Philly or whatever you want to call it, right?
Philly not so special.
Yeah. So, like special ed, that's what it was. But when you look at this situation, Greg Ward has not played in 2 games. You bring him in, they know what's they like Kyle Shanahan, not no dummy. He know you're throwing the football. He know Greg Ward is throwing the football. If you would have brought him in 1st down, 2nd down, all right, cool. You bring him in 4th down, it's do or die. It's do or die. So that's really not my question. My question to y'all is, Greg Ward hasn't played, right? Boston Scott hasn't played. JJ Arthur-Whiteside played 1 play last week, and that was the 2-point conversion. 1 play. So you got 3 guys on the roster that does not play and didn't contribute. You think we could have used Jordan Howard last week? It's time to bring this man up. These 3rd and 1s, these goal line stands, these 4th and 1s, and all that kind of stuff that you want to keep going for. Get your power back in there. It's time. You cannot keep letting Jordan Howard sit on the practice squad, and you got these 3 guys that I just named getting no time, not doing nothing at all. What are they there for? What are they there for if you're not on a number 1? If you using them,
special teams,
different. That's something different. That's something different. They there to give people water and hold jock straps. Like, come on, y'all gotta like Nick Sirianni got to stop with this, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's Nick. I don't know if it's Howie Roseman. I don't know. But I have a problem with the fact that those 3 guys do nothing for the team. And yet still you got a guy who can contribute, even if you just bring him in for power packages. You have to use Jordan Howard, man. He's on the practice squad. You need to be on the active roster tonight. How y'all feel about that?
Real quick, though, shout out to Texas Eagle with the $5 super chat. He said, we're going to need 2 turnovers plus either a touchdown or defensive special team, in my opinion. Yeah, it would be nice to get a spark in that in that category, whether it's a defensive play that really shuts down Jerry Land and sparks up Jalen Hurts and these guys, or Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins. Let's get one of them 3 returns. There's nothing better to see. All right, the Eagles get the opening kick. I always like deferring because I always want that ball back at halftime. I love to try to score before half and get the ball back. I play Madden, not on PS5 because I can't find one still. But anyways, open kickoff, Quez Watkins returns it for a touchdown. We shut down that crowd early. That's a quick punch in the mouth, and we got the guys who are explosive enough to do it. I would love to get some contribution from special teams.
Yeah, that's cool, but you ain't answer my question.
Yeah. No, you're muted, Gate.
Can't hear you, Gates.
Can't hear you, Gate.
My computer trying to be funny, bro.
Oh, are you good?
He's trying to shut me down. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah. Good.
All right. First off, let me I want to shout out my guy Cambo on Twitter. He's a Cowboys fan. He's been hitting me up, talking to me. Good dude. Cambo, I know you're not gonna like what I'm about to say, man, because you and I have been talking about this. I want to start off by just saying this. Kellen Moore might be the next head coach of the New York Giants. Hot take. Kellen Moore might possibly be the next head coach of the New York Giants. I'm gonna say this, man. We need some kind of energy producing play. So whether that's a special teams play, whether it's a defensive play, whether it's a big play over the top of the defense for the Eagles, like something. We got to get something that's going to get us reestablished again. Someone earlier on asked a question about whether or not we might have been forcing things with Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts. That's a tough one, right? Because there are things that you try to do to get a guy involved in the offense. But I do think Devonta Smith is the type of player you really don't need to do that with. I think they were just misusing him last week, to be honest. I think Devonta Smith, if you don't have certain guys out on the field, he kind of has to be your possession guy. He has to be your tough contested guy. He's the dude that has a 77, 78-inch wingspan. If you don't have a Fulgham out there and if you're not using JJ in that role, that kind of leaves Devonta Smith because the only other guy that really plays that role is Rager, but Rager doesn't have the same wingspan. He's a tough dude, but he doesn't have the wingspan. And the problem with Rager is really good at the top of route stems. He's still developing off the line of scrimmage, where Devonta Smith is a much more well-rounded route runner in general. He releases well, so he can create that initial separation, which is why, even though he's slight of frame, he can use that wingspan in those, those zone areas, those things we used to use Alshon for. He can give you those in very small windows. I'm not saying you do that 90% of the game, guys. You get him hurt that way. But you can definitely do it here and there when you need to get a ball across the middle of the field and make a point. I don't know. Did they activate Fulgham for this game, guys? Do you guys know that? Did they call him up?
Not to my knowledge.
The active roster ain't come out yet.
I realized that the practice squad travels with the team though because of COVID now, which I saw a thing on Twitter, John Hightower traveling. But I didn't hear about anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's wild. Like Fresh said, you got guys on the roster who just like, hey, how you doing? I'm looking good in my jersey. It's gonna be clean because I'm not gonna play. And you got guys who can offer something on the, the squad.
I look at that situation, man, and if Fulgham is there and he's called up, he can give you that kind of production. It's just a matter of, Fulgham's, he's a little up or down, but I think Fulgham's more of a gamer than he is.
He just can't practice. We talking about practice?
He's more of a gamer. Yeah. I think he's more of a gamer, to be honest. I think he elevates to the level of competition. I think that's why you saw moments in camp where he was playing well. That's because I think the competition got dialed up. And I think that's where he's at. Like when you can get that external motivation to him, he plays well under it. Now that's a deeper conversation if that's something we should get ourselves involved in for the long term with a guy that needs, that external motivation to get up for games. I get it, but I don't know what the options are, guys, outside of that. I mean, we clearly have an issue here because we've got at least 2 to 3 balls a game have got to go across that middle of the field. We can't. I mean, teams know, man. They're going to start playing you cover 2 man under if you don't.
It got to start tonight, especially if you got Michael Parsons dropping back in some linebacker packages. You got Jalen Smith, a guy who's been wildly not consistent. He's been consistently not consistent. You definitely got to start taking advantage of that middle tonight. Now, I like Nick Sirianni coming out and saying that it was him. This is the game plan he wanted to call against San Fran, whether that's covering up for if he believes Jalen can do it or not, but you got to do it. So far, he's been perfect. No turnovers for Jalen. I respect that. But I got to see the ball fly this game.
He ain't throw a pick last week? I thought he threw a pick last week.
Nah.
On like 4th down or something. I'm tripping? Okay. Tripping.
He's like, damn, you saw our Eagles quarterbacks throwing picks. You started
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Not Jalen Hurts. We talking about number 2. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about. You always taking shots at him for no reason. I don't know why, but he's not here. Oh my
God,
not here no more.
I'm just saying.
I know. I seen your tweet last night.
I finally watched him.
I seen your tweet last night. First of all, his defense is horrible.
I know, but
bad.
He missed Pittman. Why he missed Pittman in the end zone? Like you got to hit him.
One play. Everybody misses somebody. Jalen Hurts missed one too. Everybody misses somebody.
But listen,
all right, go ahead. Yeah, let's not because we're not going to do that.
I mean, there was multiple. Anyways,
all I know is the man was supposed to miss the game. And it looked like he might give us that 1st round pick. That's all I'm worried about.
Shout out to him. Let's talk about these boys, these Cowboys. Hey, real quick, shout out to everybody in the chat though, because we do got 300 plus watching, 315 through 3 channels. Again, we are live on 3 different channels: Philly Talk Podcast, Philly Fresh, and Gate City Sports Channel. So make sure you go ahead and hop around, throw some likes out. The likes are free. It's easy. Doesn't cost a thing, and it really does help out the content. Yeah, definitely check everybody out. So if I had to ask you guys, if this happens, the Eagles will win. What is that? It don't got to be like one play. Like if this thing dominates, if the Eagles do this right, if I'd ask you guys, Eagles doing this will get them to win. What is that thing they got to do in this game? It could be a general statement or just one big one.
That's tough. I'll go first, but
What?
that's a tough one, Mike, because to begin with, I know we have a somewhat defensive identity. I have no clue what our offensive identity is right now, man. I couldn't even begin to tell you what that is right this second because of just how drastically different game one and game two were. Um, you got 1 week, Jalen Hurts is basically he's got the lowest intended air yards in the league, and the next week he's got the highest. Like, I mean, it's crazy, man. Like the disparity between what we saw from these offenses. But I think in short, it's we gotta rally to the football and we gotta tackle well. We've got to stop Dallas from just running the football at will because we're ranked 19th against the run right now. That's got to change. That's got to change starting tonight. And then in addition to that, guys, I do think that they're going to take a couple shots deep on us. I think if we defend that first or second shot, they'll go away from it. If they hit one of those first couple shots, they're going to try to keep coming back to it. So I think if you could take away that early deep ball, those early deep attempts, they'll probably fall more to that offensive rhythm that you see with the underneath stuff. And Dak's pretty good at the intermediate stuff. Dak on those, those long dig routes, those longer slant routes that are in between 10 and 15 yards. He's pretty good at throwing that. So, in my opinion, that's where Slay and Nelson have to really man up and stop Cooper and CeeDee Lamb from just operating at will at those routes. And that to me, that's a big key there. Offensively, tight ends, running backs got to be used in this offense, man. Just there's got to be more diversity to what we're doing. It can't just be try to roll Jalen, try to create enough timing for him to get the ball and try to push it 20 plus yards. In a span of 10 plays, you do that 4 or 5 times. It's ridiculous. You can't do that. First off, if you're not running the football, no one's falling for play action. I don't know why these coaches continue to do that crap, but they do. It's not. It wasn't just Doug. That's a weird tendency they do. It's like they forget as they create the game plan. They forget that like you have to run the ball to actually sell play action.
Linebackers don't move. Linebackers stay exactly what they need to be.
Yeah, and I get sometimes they do that in the red zone because they feel like even if you're not running the ball a lot in the red zone, it seems like it would be a high percentage play that you might run. So maybe you could trick the defense into buying for the high percentage run. But I just think that the Eagles' history, even though Nick Sirianni has nothing to do with what happened before he got here, Eagles' history is that we don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know that teams are really falling for that stuff in the red zone as much anymore. Got to see something, man. I expect Miles Sanders to have a big game. I think if Miles doesn't have any kind of real production in this game, I think if Goddard and Ertz are disappearing, then we're really dependent upon Rager and Smith and Quez, and that's probably not where we want to be. I think those guys should be part of the offense. I think those are your splash play guys, but you got to do the little things that move the ball too. You got to do the little things that keep the defense honest. And, let's not fall in love with the crazy stuff. Let's keep the defense honest. Let's do the things that move the chains and then take our chances. And then maybe you hit a Devonta Smith on a big play. Maybe you hit a Rager on a big play. And hey, Rager, be mindful where the sideline is, my guy.
Hey, before Fresh goes, mine's gonna be quick. I got like a little 2-piece. My main thing is we gotta win the turnover battle. Simple. Now, again, it could be a 0-0 or 0-1. I mean, it is what it is. But if you win the turnover battle, I think we win. For the simple fact that how has the Cowboys defense looked any type of formidable is because they were taking the ball away. They took the ball away a lot against Tampa. They took the ball away a lot against the Chargers. Now, again, I don't want to take none of the a win is a win, regardless of how we feel about the refs and all that in the Chargers game. They went in LA and they got the dub. But a couple touchdowns called back and a couple giveaways from Justin Herbert. Their defense earned it. Shout out to them. But I haven't seen their defense do what you'd want a defense to do in a 3-and-out situation on a just stopping the team and making them kick the ball away, punt the ball away. So if we win the turnover battle, the defense that has been looking good without turning the ball over gets a little extra jolt, and the defense that only can stop teams by taking the ball over, you kill 2 birds, 1 stone by winning the turnover battle this game. And the biggest thing is just get Dak Prescott and the Cowboys off the field on 3rd down, gives the ball back to our offense. And, I think the offense is going to get going. I do think you'll see something in the middle. So my main thing is winning on 3rd down and win the turnover battle. Go ahead, Fresh.
Trenches. Got to win in the trenches. That's what this team is built upon. I do understand we got 2 linemen out. I think Dickerson actually played well when he did play. When I looked at the game again, I thought he did a good job. We know about the Andre Dillard situation. So you might have to roll. You might have to roll Jalen Hurts out some if he's getting abused. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to chip block. I'm going to do all that. But if he's getting abused, you're going to have to not only because I'm not sure how long he's supposed to be out. Malata. I know Brooks supposed to be out like 8 weeks. So we know what the offensive line is supposed to represent. They got to do their job. It's crazy because I don't know how Dillard and Salamalu are going to be together. We've seen what Mailata and Salamalu had. Sometimes it's not only just about you, it's about the guy that you're next to and the connection you have of seeing blitzes. And we seen Mailata and Salamalu catch late blitzes and put them dudes on their back pockets or keep Jalen Hurts clean because of them knowing, all right, my guy got this guy. I don't have anybody, but oh wait, now somebody's coming. Instead of going and try to help your guy got him. But Salamalu probably thinking, damn, Dillard need my help. And that can be in trouble with late blitzes. So we got to keep an eye on that. And we already know the defensive line losing Brandon Graham, who I think when you talk about Eagles, just on and off the field, we got to put him in a conversation with Weapon X, Brian Dawkins, how much he means to the team emotionally and physically. That's definitely a major loss. But Derek Barnett, and I got something to say to Derek Barnett after I say this. Derek Barnett, you got to step up. Josh Sweat, you got to step up. These other kids, Milton, Fletcher Cox, Kerrigan, where you been? I ain't seen you. It's like you don't even play. So we definitely we should probably see more of Kerrigan. So we definitely need to win in the trenches and the stupidity. And when I say stupidity, I mean Derek Barnett. What the hell are you thinking? They fumble the ball. It's 3rd and 15. You got a minute and like 20 seconds left to go down after we just scored. We have the momentum. They fumbled out of balance. And you come and you hit this dude. Like
that was bad.
I'm not going to say that lost the game. A lot of things lost the game. But that lost the game late. You can't do that. You cannot get a 15-yard penalty and get them 1st down. Like that hit was so stupid and so late. You cannot make those dumb behind decisions, especially at the end of the game when you're trying to win. It's 3rd and 15. You force you force a 3-and-out, and the momentum is right back on our side. And if they play the same defense that they did, Jalen Hurts going to run right down the field again. Yep. You know what I mean? To me, it was a heartbreaker when he did that. And then we had the other one with Kayvon Wallace, which I did not like. I didn't think that was helmet to helmet, but it happened. You know what I mean? But that probably doesn't happen if Derek Barnett doesn't do that. So the stupidity to me in the trenches, I think, win the game.
Great. Not just, we average 11 penalties per game, 11. And I could have sworn I looked that leads the league right now. I don't know now because they did play a Thursday night game.
Right.
So I mean, on per game, we average 11 per game. I believe on a per game situation, not like whatever, we do lead the league, and that you can't be like that. I mean, Nick Sirianni says we got to be great at the things that don't require talent. You've been playing NFL, false starts, illegal shifts, offsides. These things cannot be done, especially like the holding calls. You know what I mean? Nowadays, you could really get real iffy with the holding. I need the refs to back off a little bit. They've been a little bit of whistle happy. I think they're watching Cop Pizzle too much. I mean, blowing the whistle. But at the end of the day, look, a second, you run for 9 yards on a first down, right? Instead of a 2nd and 1, where the playbook is wide open, you get a holding call. That's a 1st and 20. You know how demoralizing, instead of being a 2nd and 1, a 1st and 20 is, and that can kill a drive right there. We've seen it kill drives. So we just got to we have to win. We have to be good at the stuff that don't require talent. And I'll take one from Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean? He came out with the beat Dallas hurts. I need all the energy we can get. This is Dallas's first home game. Eagle fans travel.
Y'all like that? You like that?
Go ahead, Gate.
To me, it was weird.
So
it was weird.
Derek Barnett.
To me, real fast, Gates. I just want to speak on the Nick Sirianni situation real fast and get right out your way. To me, it was weird. Not trying to have us on your side. All you got to do is go show up, win games, and we got you. You don't. To me, it's like he's doing the extra stuff. He's like when he goes on WIP and they're asking him why Jalen Hurts isn't throwing down the field. You come the next game, he throws down. Like, you don't have to please no freaking body. You don't got to. Show up, do your job, do what's working, and to me, I get it. I understand Dallas Week, but to me, like, you don't really know what Dallas Week is. Not yet. You didn't experience it yet. So to me, like, stop trying to please us. Like, just do your job. Go ahead, man. I don't know how y'all feel about that. That's
so, Derek Barnett, the thing I want to talk is Derek Barnett, because he's on a 5th-year extension. Okay, now he did restructure it to, he's still getting paid the same. Basically, all he did is he put some of his money and then basically converted it into a signing bonus and then gave the Eagles the opportunity to split it up over so many years. So he got paid the same. It's just the Eagles were able to break it up over 2 or 3 years, so that way they can account for cap purposes. But Derek Barnett, we're looking at a situation where we're going to have multiple first-round picks. We're going to have multiple, say, top 50 picks, basically. And, if Derek Barnett can't come out here, now that you got Brandon Graham out for the season, and he can't be the disruptive force, he can't be a guy that looks like he could be a double-digit sack guy in the NFL, to me, he's a sitting duck then there's no point to this, because that means we need to be spending one of those. We need to really be targeting a pass rusher that can make a difference. That's where I'm getting to in the draft. If Derek Barnett cannot show that he has the ability to do that, and that's minus the concerns we already have about him keeping his composure and not doing stupid, like Reese was saying, like committing penalties that, it wasn't like we were losing by 30 points. Like it was just a foolish penalty to commit, given the circumstance of the game.
I would have bet.
He's got to show it. If he does not show it, then I don't know, man. Like, my off-season videos about Derek Barnett are not going to be kind.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. Like,
I mean, it was crucial. It would have turned a 3rd and 15, which is like, what is the percentage of converting a 3rd and 15 in the NFL? It would have been 3rd and 15. There were still 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock. You know what I mean? After that first down, that's when they drawn out the play. We used our timeouts. They got the first down on the sneak, and it was over. They wasted a full 2 minutes. So there had to be 3 minutes on the clock when he did it. And this is one thing. Like, I've seen a player do a bonehead move and cost you a game.
Dominic Sue.
Yeah, okay, he does a lot too. But he's also
no. I was just pointing out one of the players, like.
But I also seen one person do it who, when you look at his track record, he don't have it. I mean, Barnett has a huge track record of getting hitting below the waist. He just has that track record of doing the bonehead plays. It wasn't just hey guys, I made a mistake. It was bro, this is just who you are. And if you are Dominic and Sue, we might be able to deal with it, but you're not him. Like you got outplayed by Josh Sweat. And here's one thing, I got to get your opinion on this. Josh Sweat only played 28 snaps last week. That's one more than Milton Williams and 4 less than Kerrigan. We got to see more Sweat. You got to. JG talked about, it's because of the packages. I mean, listen, you can't sign this guy for $40 million for 3 years if he doesn't fit your packages. You know what I mean?
Mike, call a spade a spade. Up to this point, and I'm not saying it'll continue, but up to this point in his career, Derek Barnett's been dirty. He's a dirty football player.
He's dirty. He's dirty.
You got to call a spade sometimes.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
You think is it dirty or just stupid? See, it's the difference between like Dominic Sue is dirty. Like he steps on people. He does a whole lot. I don't think he's dirty. I just think he's
Barnett does that. Barnett has done that shit too, man. He's dirty, bro. Up to this point in his career, he's been a dirty football player. Like, come on, look at yesterday. Look at the hit last week.
Yeah,
come on, man. That's a dirty hit. It's no different than just stepping on somebody on the ground.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you why it's different. It for real, it should have been legal. But the only reason that is not is the whistle didn't blow. The whistle didn't blow. I was always taught, Gates, and I know you know this. You keep hitting until you hear that whistle. That's what I was always taught. But because it was blindside, it was a stupid play. I'm not defending it. You cannot do that in the NFL, especially in those circumstances. You can't do it. But I definitely was always taught you keep hitting until the whistle stops. Right or wrong, Steve? Or Mike, I don't know if you play football.
Yeah, you got to play to the whistle.
You played to the whistle. But it was a stupid play. I'm not going to give him dirty. I got to look at the rest of the plays that he has done. But I ain't going to give him dirty. I just think it's bonehead. It's stupid.
In my opinion, man, he's a dirty player, man.
Hey, Derek Barnett. Hey, Derek.
I get it.
Make it up tonight. We need 2 sacks. 2+ sacks from you tonight. Make it up. But yo, listen. I mean,
Mike, you said it though. You said it. I've seen the comment section say it. Dirty player or not, if he's producing, nobody cares.
Nah. Yeah, that's why the Dominic and Sue can still get that paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why AB still got a job. That's why AB, just you put up with that nonsense if you're good. But what is your take on Josh?
That's why Josh Gordon just got another
He's
job.
about to go back to the Chiefs. Not back, but to the Chiefs. Like this this man got to get out of jail free card, Monopoly style. He just gonna keep entering the NFL.
Hey, I can't remember the question I was going to ask. Go ahead. Damn. I had a good question for y'all too.
So who steps up most in the absence of BG when you look at the rotation of Barnett, Sweat, Kerrigan, and Milton Williams? Because they would have been Teron Jackson did get some playing time as well. I seen people in the chat earlier asking about it. He did. He was the lowest on a totem pole of snaps. It went Fletch, Hargrave, Barnett, Kerrigan, Sweat, Milton. And then you had a couple Ridgeway and stuff, and then BG only played 15 snaps because he was injured. But who steps up in the absence and just makes a name for themselves Monday night?
I ain't gonna say make a name for themselves. This is who I want to step up, and I think we need to step up, especially when you're going against Zeke. It's Fletcher Cox, dude. You're $100 million man. Last week you did not get doubled like how you got doubled in Atlanta, and you did not make an impression on the game as you should have. I'm tired of seeing, because it was supposed to be you and Aaron Donald. I'm tired of seeing Aaron Donald dominate and you're not. Aaron Donald gets doubled. He still dominates games. And you're not doing that. And to me, it's frustrating. It's real frustrating because I go up and down on how I feel about Fletcher Cox. I do. And people
he normally shines though against the Cowboys. He normally comes out against the Cowboys. We need him.
I hope so because we definitely you have to be that gap filler. But I'm not going to lie, I don't think it's Fletcher Cox. I think it's Hargrave. I think Hargrave balls in this game. But I don't want to keep every time I shout somebody out, they get hurt. I don't want to keep shouting people out and they getting hurt. So But I am going to go with Hargrave. I think Hargrave dominates, man. Seriously, I think he dominates. Go ahead, Steve.
Defensively, is that what you're asking for, Mike? You want defense
Yeah,
right
just
now?
like especially with the big loss, our defense has been the most talked
I thought
about
we were just saying
subject.
defensive line. We picking
Yeah,
our
yeah,
players?
no, defensive line. Like who's gonna really step up in the absence of BG? That was the question.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I.
Boy, that's a tough one. Look, it's got to be Derek Barnett, man. It has to be Derek Barnett, dude. You're on a 5th-year option. You just got paid $10 million. You just committed a penalty that I'm not going to say it lost us the game, but it put us in a pretty big predicament. Like, bro, you got to step up, my guy. I mean, like, I'll say Kerrigan's probably a little bit more similar to Graham than Derek Barnett is. Milton Williams is probably a younger version that's still a little bit raw, but probably a little better inside that. He's got some stuff to do here, but he's a similar player too. But Derek Barnett's got to be the guy. He's a 1st-round pick. He's on a 5th-year option. I mean, where does the defensive line stand unless we draft somebody next year or go into free agency if Derek Barnett can't produce? He's got to produce. Like,
yeah,
they have a backup right tackle out there. Go get your money. Go get your money, Derek Barnett. There's $10 million that's just past steal. Go get it.
Exactly. And again, he's on his last year of his contract, the 5th-year contract. And so even if we don't re-sign him, he's definitely interviewing across the league to get a job. You know what I mean? He just watched Josh Sweat, outshine him last year in limited role and get the bag. It was a nicely worked out contract. I mean, it's not that nice if he's only playing 28% or 28 snaps. I need to play higher snaps. But I agree. I think you're going to need a combination of Kerrigan, Barnett, and Sweat to just fill in the shoes of a BG because he does so much more. His presence in the run game is where I think we're going to feel it the most. You know what I mean? I like his edge. You saw in the Atlanta game, they were kind of bullying us until BG said nope and hit him with a nice 4-yard loss, a TFL. And then we kind of started changing the script for the Falcons when they got into the red zone. But we coming up on 56 minutes. We're going to be getting off here in about 10 minutes. Listen, this is a big game.
Hey, real fast. Let me ask y'all this before. I know we're about to get into like what we get into at the end. How do y'all feel about our tight ends only getting 4 targets? That has to change.
Big time.
It'd be 4 targets each per game.
Huh? No.
4 targets each per game.
They got 4 targets. Both of them got 4
I know,
targets.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying it needs to be 4 targets each player per game.
Yeah.
At least 8 targets a game.
Like what the field was open against the 49ers.
Yeah.
The seams was open against the 49ers. You gotta utilize your tight ends. You have one of the best, probably top 5 tight end tandems in the league. You do.
Yeah.
Use them guys, man.
That's facts.
Well, see, and I think I'll give you my perspective without seeing all 22 yet, but just judging from the flow of the first 2 games. It looks like to me as if early in game, and especially early and down early in game, like first half, there's a lot of RPO-based offense, which leads to a lot of those wide receiver tunnel screen stuff like that. Although that went kind of missing, we should have used that a little bit more, but it may have been that Jalen decided to hand off instead of attack the perimeter out there. I think that's part of what's going on, but I also think that they have him on what's called a half-field read, which, by the way, I heard a commentator say this and he's dead wrong. Drew Brees, his entire career, ran a half-field. He was a half-field read guy his entire career. He was pretty good at it. But I think what Nick has to do, he's got to be better at designing the half-field read. He's got to be better at scripting offense. And you can't go away from the middle of the field to the extent he went away from it. I just think it got away from him. I think it got away from him last week. I think he's got to reel that back in. I think Nick's a smart guy. I think he's going to get it under control. But it clearly got away from him from a design standpoint last week. The design was not good.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni. It's not even a discussion. It should have been more plays where it was the number 1 read. You can blame. If you're trying to say you're trying to blame Jalen Hurts, you can blame. But this dude Gio, whoever he is, I guess he a Dallas fan or whatever.
Yeah.
Like name 5 teams that have a better tight end tandem than Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. Don't worry, I'll wait because you can't. You can't.
Yeah,
So
that's
top
impossible.
5.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got a guy who's been a top 5 tight end his whole career, just coming off an injury and whatnot. You know, he's been like a top 3 or 4 if you really want to get into it, just number wise. And I mean, he broke the record for most receptions by a tight end. You know, he's good. Now he's healthy, so he's going to get more. He still can play. If he's on any other team as a starting tight end, he's putting up fantasy numbers. And you got Dallas Goedert, who, oh, by the way, while sharing the ball, his last healthy year was top 10. The last time both Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert were healthy, they were both top 10. Zach Ertz was 4, and Goddard was like 8. That's sharing. The people that Goddard was in front of were their sole tight end. You know what I mean? It's just foolish to not talk about our tight ends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me ask you a question in the chat as well. Nick Sirianni talks a lot about the dog mentality, having that dog in you, right? Let me ask just an obvious question. Given the beating he took in San Francisco, right? He got out-coached. Does he have the dog in him? Will we see that dog tonight? Will he come out ready to fight tonight as a coach?
Who let the dogs out? I mean, who let the dogs out? We need that tonight.
I mean, you wearing a shirt, and it backfired on his last year. Remember Doug Peterson? Guaranteed to win against Dallas. Backfired. We lost like 37-17, and you guaranteed to win. You can't, to me, and that's another thing about the shirt. You can't get them post-board material. They probably have a picture of you in the locker room with that shirt on. You can't get these guys bulletin material, man. Like, I get it. If you've been here for years and it's been a battle and yada yada yada, and you know, I would have liked you to, if you're gonna do that, I'd like you to wear a Ray Rose shirt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, shout out to Seth though with the $2 super chat, channel member in the building. He said, "What up, BBP Firestream? I'm worried about Dillard." We definitely talked about it, but real quick, you know, my motto is this: Dillard has an opportunity. For him, it's probably his last chance. For us as Eagle fans, we want to see Mulata, but we signed Mulata to the big deal. He's our future left tackle. If Dillard wants to have a job anywhere else, it starts tonight. I'm not as down on Dillard, but I'm still worried just because of the bull rush. Yeah. But if there's any D line that you can, I mean, Gregory's back, I believe, for the Cowboys, right? He's decent. He's not bad. You know what I mean? Micah Parsons was lined up mainly on the right side, so mainly Lane Johnson. Who knows what they'll do? They do move him around a lot, but Dillard is not no one you want to put all your eggs in the basket on. But what he's playing for is much bigger, and he has no choice but to come out and produce. We could have worse. We could have Jason Peters out there. So I mean, I don't really know.
But that's the question I wanted to ask you. Did y'all think that and this could have changed the whole situation on the game to me. I know you talked about Jalen Reagor stepping out. I thought Quez Watkins got horse collar. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like when I looked at the play, the dude grabbed him from the back of the jersey and pulled him down. You know what I mean? Now we did wind up getting there anyway, but with that momentum and being right there at we would have been at the 1 yard line. It's a lot of games is just not skill players, it's momentum, and you already know if you get what I'm saying. Like it's team working together because a good play just happened and they're happy and they feel and you know your spirits is high. You know what I mean? Like when I used to play basketball, I always played in brand new sneakers because I felt better. That was just me personally. You feel better when things like that happen. You feel right, and maybe I don't know. Maybe things could have changed. I don't know. I'm just talking because I'm real sorry about that loss. And we gotta come out.
Yeah,
we gotta come out and beat Dallas, man. You gotta beat this team. You don't want to fall 1-2. They're 2-1 with the schedule that they have and the schedule that we have.
Exactly.
To me, you
Because
gotta
low
win the
low key, 3 teams that we kind of I wouldn't say we all called them soft, but when we saw some of the hard ones on the schedule, we took Carolina a lot later, we took the Broncos a lot later, and we took the Raiders a lot later, right? So by taking them a lot later, they came out and all went 3-0.
Yeah.
So there's some the actives and inactives came out, guys. So
It did.
inactives, not a whole lot of surprises, guys. Guard Jack Anderson is inactive. We just traded for him recently, or signed him off of the practice squad recently. So a Buffalo, not a surprise there. Jordan Mailata because of injury, we know. McLeod because of injury, we know. Minshew hasn't been active at all, I don't believe, this season. Davion Taylor is inactive. But there is a few interesting things. Sua Peta has been called up from the practice squad. Mac McCain is active for the first time. And running back Boston Scott, who was questionable, is active tonight.
Well, there you go.
What about Jordan Howard?
Nah,
They're going Boston Scott, I guess.
Once again, but well,
and he's coming off an injury. And I don't know what Jordan Howard is doing.
Richard Kane, I appreciate you, bro, because you alerted me to go look.
I don't know what Jordan Howard is doing in practice, but it must not be nothing. Because to me, how do you take an injured Boston Scott that don't touch the field anyway? And we need a power back. We need a freaking power back. We don't have one. You need every team has a power back. Every team got a power back. We need a power. Why don't
it's ridiculous.
I'm pissed.
Nah, it is. But right there, shout out to Gate though. Bringing Sua Opeta, making him active. That's partly because we're down. Another injury. We'll need somebody, but it could be an injury reason, or it could be, hey, Dilla, you stink after the first quarter. Get up out of here. So, someone.
I hope not, man, because I don't even know what we would do in that situation. Like, we don't have a lot of depth at tackle right now, guys.
I know, and you don't want Opeta being your left tackle.
Man, that'd be a nightmare.
It'd be rough. But listen, you know what I mean? It's a big game. Shout out to the Cowboy fans in the chat, keeping it a buck. I mean, some of them are just talking, the Eagle. Listen, I would not. I want the disrespect from the. Listen, we hate each other. I don't want y'all to be nice to me, and damn sure I ain't gonna be nice to y'all. But as long as you keeping it football, I'm all about the smoke. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. With that being said, we're gonna go over our guys on offense and defense that need to stand up, give our score predictions. I haven't put up my link yet because I've been slacking all day. I just got here for the BBP, but I still am going live for the game. So I will be doing the live play-by-play. It's not up on YouTube. I'll do that once we get up off here. So feel free to come through, but go ahead and give me your offensive player, defensive player that stands out Monday night. Bright lights.
Go ahead, Gage. You go first. I got to think.
Standout players. Look, it better be Derek Barnett, bro. I don't say Derek Barnett's name like 15 times in his live stream.
Yeah,
I need something from Derek Barnett that's not a penalty. For real.
Yeah,
defensively, I'm going to say Derek Barnett. It's got to be the dude, man. Big shoes to fill, man. Brandon Graham's out. Brandon Graham, not only a good football player, he was one of the emotional, leaders of the locker room. That stings when a dude like that gets lost for the season. So I'm going to say Derek Barnett's got big shoes to fill, man. He's got to stand out tonight. Offensively, I just feel like Devonta Smith is going to have a pretty big bounce back. I feel he's going to be a Devonta Smith game. I know we talked about the tight ends and running backs, and I think they absolutely have got to be a part of the offense. I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but I feel like this is going to be a high volume game for Devonta Smith. I think they're going to utilize him a little differently. I think they're going to work him into zones. But I will say this, Dallas plays more man than what we're used to seeing. They go a little bit more man coverage than what we've seen the first couple of weeks. So I will say Atlanta ran us a little bit on man. So we'll get an opportunity for some man coverage. And Devontae's going to have to beat his old teammate because I'm pretty sure they're going to put digs on him. So to me, interesting, fascinating matchup to see. And just one more thing for Reese goes, not a player of the game, anything like that. I just want to call out this matchup because this is potentially the last time we're going to see this matchup. Fletcher Cox. And can you guys hear where I'm going here? Martin. This might be the last time we get to see this. This might be the last time we get to see those two guys lock up for a while.
Zach Wilson?
Yeah. So
Zach Martin.
The right
Zach
guard.
Martin, and Fletcher Cox. Like that might be the last time we get to see those two guys lock up and play football. So I mean, It's
So
one of
what?
those
So
things
you
that
don't
this
think
season I'm going to
you
enjoy
don't
those
wait?
type of
You don't
matchups,
think he's
man. Because
gonna
we
play
already
the
lost
last?
Lawrence. The
You
Lawrence and
don't
Lane
think he's
thing, we
gonna
already
play the
lost
last?
that.
Go
You do
ahead.
know we played them again this year, right, Steve?
Yeah, end of the year, yeah. No, I'm saying that the season in general, Reese. I'm saying this might be one of the last times we get to see those matchups. Lawrence
This shit
and
breaking up. Can
Lane,
y'all
which
hear me?
that won't happen this week. And then Zach Allen or Zach Martin, I'm sorry,
Can y'all hear
guys,
me?
versus
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. You're frozen, but we can hear you.
Huh?
Can you hear us? I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Huh?
This song breaking up bad. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Real quick though, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 497 people in the chat. When you look at 3 channels we are live on, we are live on the Philly Talk podcast. That's mine. Philly Fresh, his channel, who's having some technical difficulties. Hopefully the Eagles don't have none of them. And we are live on Gate City Sports Channel, wherever you're watching it. So if it doesn't say 497 in your chat, I'm not lying. We got it on 3 channels. So definitely go out and check out the other content creators. But wherever you're watching it right now, please hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. Don't cost a thing. Philly 52. It's Eagles Cowboys when he's back in action. He said Sweat better have the most snaps tonight. Go Birds. I agree. He got to be up there. He can't be behind everybody. You just paid him. Go let him earn that contract. But yeah, we need to play Derek Barnett, not because we love him, but because we're forced to. We got to play him. And I ain't never hear Gate City call out a player as many times he did Derek Barnett this game. That has to be the guy who steps up on the defense. I'm gonna go offensively. My guy who got to step up. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders. I haven't seen that big hitter, that home run hit from Miles Sanders. I want to see that tonight, big time. You went Devonta Smith, right? Yeah. And then on defense, I gotta see my guy, big play Slay. I keep calling him right now. I just read his back of his jersey. It's Slay Jr. He needs to be big play Slay. I need to see it. 2 turnovers. I called it in my preview. Zeke's gonna fumble, and Dak's gonna throw a pick. If that happens, come holla at your boy. I want to wait for Fresh to get on here, but I'm trying to go live for the game. I gotta set my TV up. I gotta set the stream up, and he's back. Yo,
we good?
You good?
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah, kinda.
I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. Did you go, Mike?
Yeah. I said Sanders and big play
Right,
Slay.
go ahead.
No, I did Sanders and Slay. So if you want to just say your tune, and we'll just give score predictions as we get up out of here.
Well,
You didn't hear? I said Sanders. I can hear myself breaking up on yours. Hopefully this is not some bad juju.
Yeah, can y'all hear me? Because it keep going in and out. I don't know why. Like
We hear you good.
ain't nothing wrong. Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah.
I heard everything you said. I'm asking, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead
we
and
hear
give us your offense and defensive guy before we lose you.
This shit.
Mike, you jinxed them, bro. You jinxed them. Let's go score predictions and we'll get him back.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go to score. I rocked all through my preview video, and shout out to everybody who guessed how many yards Dallas Goedert. The guy never hit me back who won the Jalen Hurts thing, so it might be $75 for the winner of the Dallas Goedert's receiving yards. Can't do it no more. The time's cut off. That being said, 27-23, Eagles get the W in Dallas.
I'm going to say this is going to be one of those crazy games, Mike. I'm going to say it's going to be 21-20. I got a feeling this is going to come down to the last play of the game type of deal. Listen, for you Cowboy fans that are in here, you can come to this live stream 17 times, and I'm going to give you 17 answers of the Eagles because I'm an Eagles fan. There's a reason why I don't bet on my own team, or I don't bet against them either, because it's ridiculous. But go ahead, Fresh. We're waiting on you anyways, man. But I'm going to say 21-20 Eagles.
Woo! Close one.
Good. We good.
Yes. Hurry.
We good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. I got Steven Nelson. I think he gets our first pick of the game, of the season, not the game. On defense, I got Steven Nelson, and I got on offense, I'm gonna say I think Dallas Goedert breaks out. I think he gets like 6 to 8 targets, scores a touchdown. And because they don't really have nobody really to stick, like they're like even Parsons, he's not, I know him from Penn State. He's not a good cover. So you got to put, though he has to cover. So I think Dallas Goedert shines because of that. My score prediction, I got it. I think you're gonna have to put up points. I got it 30-27 Eagles.
All right. I like it. So to recap real quick, 30-27 by the general, 21-20 by the coach, and 27-23 from yours truly. Hey, I'll take any one of them. Even though the 21-21, the 2021 will have me up in my seat. What better way to beat Dallas, to let them think they won and then they lost by 1? That's would be great. But with that being said, we got to go. I don't think we're going to be doing a post game. I don't know. It's going to be late. Let's see when this game ends, and we'll be texting each other throughout the game. I will be live for the play-by-play as soon as I can set it up. Until next time, hit the like where you're at. Subscribe to all 3 of us. Gate City, Philly Fresh, Philly Mike. We are out.
Yo, that.
Peace.